That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back, campers, to episode 42 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm their camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're here back to bring the spooky, strange, weird, and wacky into your lives. And I do have a very special announcement to make. I am very excited to announce that we have our very first sponsor.
Ooh.
So we are sponsored by Spring Heel Jack Coffee and Cold Brew Company. And I reached out to them. We got to talking a little bit. They are a coffee company that's based out of Ohio. They make amazing coffee. It's really, really good, and it really fits our bill. I mean, Spring Heel Jack, You guys should know about him.
Yep.
He is a mythical lore legend from England who jumps around, and it looks like he's on coffee, honestly. Spits blue flame, you know the whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys want to listen to that episode, we got that on, I think it's
I don't know what number that is.
No, it's insults and blue flames right to the face, I believe it is.
Okay.
But, they have amazing coffee. I love it all. They sent us 3 types right now. It's amazing. Reanimation, Old Scratch, and Black Phillip. And they're aesthetic, their coffee, it's all super amazing, and they're going to be a regular sponsor on this show. So if you guys love coffee, go check out Spring Heel Jack Coffee Company. They're great. They're really friendly, and they make amazing coffee, and that's all that really matters in this world, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Can't start my morning without old Spring Heel Jack.
Old Cup of Joe. I just love their names, Black Phillip. It's like, if you've ever seen The Witch, which is a great movie, Black Phillip is a demonic goat. No spoilers, but I don't know, like everything about this coffee company I really love. That's why I reached out to them and we got to talking, and like I said, coffee is the lifeblood of this world and this podcast. So go check them out. Great coffee, great prices, and great people. So, wait.
Are you going to do a news story, or wait a second? What is
hear
that? What's that sound?
What the fuck is that?
Hello, boys.
Oh my God, it's Uncle Chris.
Uncle Chris.
Hey.
So we have a guest tonight around this campfire. We have Chris Barlow. He is my new roommate.
Yep.
He has replaced fucking Kyle, who
God damn it.
abandoned me.
Sick, Kyle.
He doesn't even care.
And Chris, say hey. Say hey to the nice folks.
What's up, campers? How you guys doing today? I just want to say, Tobin, David, thank you for having me on. First time, long time.
Yeah.
First time, sort of long time.
No, you've never been on. It's the first time in a while. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, we're happy to have you on, and we hope you got some spooky stories to tell.
About as spooky as they come.
Okay.
Campers. Get
So-
those diapers ready.
But
stuff.
before we get into these spooky stories, we must first catch you up. We have 3 stories coming today, so we're just going to go quick with the news.
Yep.
But I feel like this news is newsworthy, as Louisiana cops say, don't call us to complain about Taco Bell, which is
We've had enough.
We've had another news story about Taco Bell where a guy almost starved to death in his car in a blizzard, but he survived off Taco Bell hot sauces, which is cool. But
After I heard that, I bought this little beef jerky, little long boy that's for dogs, just in case I ever get locked in my car with my dog. I'm like,
oh, that's smart.
yep, little
Wait,
beef jerky for
Is
him.
it like a Slim Jim?
It's a thick Jim.
Okay.
Now, are you splitting this with your dog, or is
No,
this just focused on your dog?
It clearly says not for human consumption.
Well, I was going to say you should get something that's like edible for both of you, because like you could just get regular beef jerky and leave it in your car. He'll eat that.
Oh no, I have some long boys in the car as well for myself.
Okay, there's long boys, dog long boys, and human long boys.
Yes, we got long boys of all variations.
And some sauces, hopefully.
Yeah.
But apparently, Louisiana police they got a call from I don't know if it's many or one upset customer, but they tweeted about it, and they said that somebody called in to complain that Taco Bell on Gauss Boulevard ran out of hard and soft shell tacos. So
Shit.
So I mean that
They like
kind
their
of
Taco
that
Bell.
kind of is police worthy, right?
I was going to say, it's worthy enough to complain about. It's like In-N-Out running out of patties.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Like, I actually went through a Taco Bell one time, and they were completely out of ground beef.
Okay.
And I don't know how the fuck you run out of ground beef. I feel like the ordering manager is fucking up.
So if you ask me, I would say if a Taco Bell said they ran out of ground beef, I would say that they have ground beef, but it probably like went bad somehow, so they're not serving it.
Okay.
I don't think that's ever stopped Taco Bell in the past.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It must have been real bad.
Yeah.
That's true.
Real bad.
I mean, I like the chicken too. I haven't eaten Taco Bell in a really long time. I'm not shaming
Don't
Taco
lie.
Bell. I love Taco Bell
Why are you lying to us?
because there's no Taco. Oh wait, there is a Taco Bell near here.
I know what we're doing after the
I'm about
pod.
to say seriously.
There's
money
one
where your mouth
across.
is.
There's one across the like not really across the street, but one very close to my apartment, but it has no drive-through.
That's the one I was thinking of. I hate walking in there.
Yeah, there's nothing more shameful.
There's only like 5 parking spots too.
Yeah, it's awful.
So,
It's awful.
but I mean, maybe we'll have to stop by and check if they have their hardened shop. I mean,
If I'm eating Taco Bell, I'm not walking. I'm not
you
walking
make a
in
good
there.
point. You
I'm
make
not
a-
leaving my car. My seatbelt is not coming off from the purchase to the finishing of the meal.
It's always in like if you're getting Taco Bell, you need it immediately because I'm guessing starving because
Or
you
drunk.
don't make that out of like a what options do I have? It's like I'm malnourished and I need some form of rotten beef in me. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that is pretty newsworthy because the shells are the
It's a
It's
staple.
a shell hell.
it's the groundwork for the ground beef is also, but that's also the groundwork. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty fucked up.
Yep.
But we're going to keep the news short for you today because we got 3 stories for you. And I guess we should just get into them like we always do.
Yep.
So I will start first. And I'm here to tell you about the creepy legendary tale of a man that goes by the name of Edward Moredrake. Do you guys know who this is?
Sounds familiar.
Oh,
So-
gosh, it's the first time for me.
So I found this guy back in the day, and I thought it was a very interesting story, but I have not covered it yet, and I thought that, let's capitalize on this, and because it's not a very long story, but it is very interesting. So let's get into this. In the 1895 publication, The Boston Post, an article was published titled The Wonders of Modern Science, which displayed reports from the Royal Scientific Society documenting the existence of marvels and monsters. You know I'm going to read that article every time, right?
Absolutely.
So this article cataloged the supposed freaks of the time, including a woman with a fishtail, a
Is
human...
that not a mermaid?
I wrote mermaid, and then I read another article that said human with a fishtail, and I was like, ooh, that sounds creepier. 'Cause mermaid sounds kind of fun.
Well, maybe she still has legs and she's got a little tail hanging out the back.
Hey,
Kind of what I imagined first.
it's kind of like a mermaid still, even if
Yeah.
like you have legs, right? So,
yeah,
but
let's go with it.
let me get to these other guys. Human crab man.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know what he looks
They
like.
called me in college.
Crab. People.
That's-
Crab.
They called you human crab man for a different reason. You didn't have pincers. You, anyway. And also a man with the body of a spider. I don't know if it's like literally he could either have 8 legs or it's a very tiny body. We just
Or he is just a spider.
well, I mean, we discussed today how tiny Vern Troyer was.
That's true.
So he's very, very tiny.
Yeah, he was a little dude.
So
Rest in peace.
But the most terrifying of them all was a man by the name of Edward Moredrake. Now, Edward was your standard English man, I'm not going to say pasty, because he's not. He's handsome. He was young, he was intelligent, and he was also a very good musician and fairly well off. At first glance, he seemed like a pretty average guy. But there was one exception.
Got a big old donger.
That would be newsworthy. This is also newsworthy. Edward Moredrake was born with another fully formed face on the back of his head.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I do know this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because he made a cameo. I mean, his character made a cameo in American Horror Story.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all of American Horror Story, but I do want to watch it more because I've heard great things.
Yeah. The second season I really liked. First season was good.
That's
Third
Murder
season was
House.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asylum was
the
cool.
Asylum. The
I
Asylum
watched
was my favorite
3
one.
episodes, and then there's a bunch of cool shit involved in that. There's aliens and Nazis and freaks and
Yeah,
monsters.
yeah,
and
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
So the face on the back of his head was interesting in many ways. First off, the face was that of a female.
Huh.
Interesting, right?
She was beautiful.
They said that she was like mysterious. She was like beautiful female, but also like looked like a devil. I'm like, you can't. Those are mutually exclusive. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But it was said that the female face occupied only a small portion of the posterior part of the skull, but the nameless face had a much bigger personality below the terrifying and hideous quote unquote devil
Helicopter.
mask.
Oh, sorry.
No, not helicopter. Yeah, I could hear that helicopter, but terrifying, hideous devil mask. So I guess she wasn't beautiful unless
You're into that kind of
you're
thing.
into succubuses, right?
Yep.
So
my ex-wife.
Aren't they all?
Karen. So apparently the face exhibited every sign of intelligence, but the intelligence of a malignant sort. So this
Sore or sort? Sore?
No,
Oh.
not a sore.
I heard
sword.
sword.
She did not. He would
She's
grab,
sharp.
like every once in a while, his hand would grab a sword from behind and just pick it up, and he's like, "What am I doing?" So, it was seen to smile and sneer while Moredrake was weeping, as well as the eyes would move and follow spectators around the room. The lips would also gibber without ceasing, but with no voice being audible. So it would basically, when he was crying, it would sneer and like laugh, like in a weird way, like grin, and then also it would like watch people as like they walked around the room and shit like that. Also, it would talk, but it like no voice came out of it, so it's that's pretty disturbing in itself. So Edward would say that his quote-unquote devil twin, as he called it, never slept at night and would instead keep him up all night with such things that they would only speak of in hell. I mean, that's like probably the most terrifying thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, talk about night terrors. Jesus Christ.
I mean, like he just whispering like, "Hey, it's fucking hot down here." You're like, oh my god, they talk about that in hell, don't they?
Did she just get smothered with the pillow in the back?
What?
Oh, that's a good
I
point.
wondered-
You can't be like a back sleeper.
He's like, "Hey, my nipple rings are being pulled by a tow truck." You'd be like, oh my god, they do that in hell, right? What goes down in hell? So, but you make a good point. I mean, he was probably a side sleeper if like the voice is like, "Fucking whoa." Okay, so he also added, "No imagination can conceive the dreadful temptations it set before me," making one believe that it was the actual devil trying to make a deal with the troubled man. So basically, I don't know if like the devil was using a nice little female devil face as like a little like, "Hey, Edward, can you do some of my bidding over here?" I don't know, but I mean, interesting enough. But Edward's life became more and more tormented by the face, causing him to plead with doctors, stating, "I beg and beseech you to crush it out of human semblance, even if I die for it."
Jesus.
I mean, how bad do you want to get rid of that little baby face? Mm-hmm. He's just like, just kill
Should
me.
have super glued it shut.
I mean,
Or slept on his back.
I don't know. I was trying to think of any sort of like, maybe get a mullet wig. That might work.
That could do it for you.
Because you got to have that party in the back to cover the face, you know?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be smiling at nobody. But sadly, at 23 years young, in spite of careful watching, he managed to procure poison and drink it down, killing him within minutes. After his death, a note was found left behind by Edward requesting that the demon face might be destroyed before his burial, lest it continues its dreadful whispering in my grave. So he was afraid that once he died, he believed the thing would still be able to talk to him in the afterlife and torment him until
it's a fair
for all of
concern.
eternity. Yeah, it's fucking terrifying. It's like horrible, you know? But at his own request, he was buried in a waste place without stone or legend to mark his grave, which is kind of sad in itself.
Yeah.
So now many people argue that the story of Edward Moredrake is possibly more fiction than fact, but it is in fact a medical condition known as, I'm about to fuck this up, Craniofacial duplication. Actually, I got that
Pretty
just
good.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds
perfect. So craniofacial duplication can cause the facial features of an embryo to be duplicated. The condition is extremely rare and usually lethal. Although there are recent documented cases of infants who managed to survive a short time with the mutation. Obviously, nobody survived till 23, but Lali Singh, a child born in India in 2008, was born with another face as well as multiple limbs. Her tiny village believed her to be an incarnation of the Hindu goddess Durga, and instead of banishing her, like they do in England where they just make you a freak, they built her an entire temple in her honor. Why does that keep happening? Remember, I told you about the...
Was she not the Spider-Man that they had in the circus?
She was not Spider or Crab Man.
Okay.
She was Lali Singh,
Yeah.
the duplicated face many-armed girl.
Okay.
But like, remember when we talked about those twins back in the day who both said that they were possessed by reptiles or snake gods?
Yeah.
And they got a temple built for them?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like if you're kind of like underprivileged, just like go to like India or where was the other one? Indonesia, I think, and they'll build you a temple. If you're
I think wasn't it Thailand?
it might have been Thailand.
Well, okay, so did this kid have like the extra limbs? Did they move?
I think it looked like Goro.
Could they move it? I know exactly what you're talking about, Goro. Well, I was gonna say,
Mortal Kombat
could you
Goro.
imagine being like a karate instructor and then this kid walks up with like 8 arms and you're just like, well, fuck, I quit.
You're like,
This is your dojo now.
I can't quit. I can't teach this. I just gotta quit.
Danielson, come over here. Like, I have a prodigy on my forehands.
The 8 chop kick.
Seriously, I mean, it's pretty crazy. So she got a temple built in her name because she looked like Durga, which is to just look like a god. If you're gonna look kind of weird, like if you like have like if you're like a cyclops, also dye your skin blue because that might be a god somewhere.
Why
right?
not?
It's a win-win. Because now people aren't talking about your one eye. They're talking about, you see that blue guy? You're like, yeah, I saw him. Does he have one eye? I couldn't tell. He was just blue.
He had that single lens sunglass on. I couldn't tell.
You see that minion over there? That blue minion? So,
Gave him a banana. He wouldn't leave.
So, in conclusion, if you're ever alone and hear a faint whisper behind you, you just ran your hand through the back of your hair on your head. Hopefully you don't find a pair of lips and a nose. Or maybe hopefully you do, because then my guys out there, you just got yourself a girlfriend.
Hey.
I don't think it would work that way.
You can't kiss her, but hey, you guys could talk about devil shit. You can talk about how nice hell is this time of year.
Yeah.
So, but if you guys also didn't know, Tom Waits, one of my musical, not heroes, because that wouldn't make it seem like I am musically inclined. I'm just a fan. He wrote a song called Poor Edward on his Alice album, which is a song about this, which is what I've heard. I heard about this story, and then I heard that song. I go, what the fuck? This sounds like the guy with the face on the back of his head. And it was.
It was.
So that's Tom Waits for you.
You know, not even a metaphor, just literal lyrics.
He makes weird fucking songs. He has a song called Tabletop Joe, which is about a guy born without the bottom half of his body, and he literally plays on a tabletop with his hands, like the drums, and he becomes like a famous jazz musician because everybody comes to see him like play the tabletop with his hands.
Oh, I saw him live once.
You did not see him. I thought it was old table legs. I thought that was Spider Body Joe. I don't know.
The guy's got 4 legs.
That guy's got a spider body. That guy could support a family's dinner. Look at him.
Yeesh.
So that is the story of Edward Moredrake and the face on the back of his head. And rest in peace. They got some pretty interesting pictures online, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty crazy from what I saw.
Oh, you typed them in?
Yeah, as you were going.
Yeah, I mean, they like a lot of them. I don't know if there are actual pictures because I heard a lot of publications be like, this is not true. They tried to use this to try to get more people to read their paper and stuff. And I'm like, honestly, there's some like pretty weird pictures. And then people also made like, I know they're not real, but they made like paper mache sculptures out of what he would look like, his mummified head and shit like that. Because it's so convenient that he was buried in a nameless grave.
Yeah,
You're like,
right.
okay. It's like when they lost the Gowrow on the way
Of
to
course.
the museum. They caught it, and they're like, we killed it. Now we're going to send it to the Smithsonian. And they're like, our truck driver was fucking drunk, and he drove off the road. And you're like, oh, okay, wow. You hired the one drunk truck driver, so...
I think he was lost on train, but yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think
you hired the one drunk train driver. He drove off the tracks. So, I don't know. You have one track.
You got one track.
How do you fuck that up?
Just don't turn
Mom's
left
spaghetti.
or right. Not that hard. I don't know how a train works.
I mean, I'm like, just keep shoveling coal in there. I don't fucking know.
I think there's go and there's stop.
Yeah, exactly. So, that was the story of Edward Moredrake. Rest in peace, homie. And back of the lady face. You didn't get a name.
Yeah,
but
whatever your name was.
Devil Lady, what up?
So Edward went through his teens and his early 20s with that devil voice in his head. You think he ever used that as an excuse to get out of anything?
I wonder.
I bet that face on the back got asked to prom before he did.
He's like, hey, do you want to go to prom? And she's like, I'm kind of a lesbian. And he just turns around. He's like, and it's like, you want to go to hell? I don't want to go to yeah. I was going to make a face where I didn't talk because the fucking bitch can't talk.
Jesus.
What? Oh, she's a devil woman who's literally trying to steal his soul. I can't call her a bitch. Sorry.
Honestly, maybe I feel bad for that woman. Maybe she had the harder life because we remember her as a devil woman. He slept on his back, maybe, and she never got a chance to talk.
Always had hair in her face. So, I mean, geez. So, yeah, anyway. Shout out Edward.
Yep. So should our darling Chris go next?
I think Chris should go next.
Sandwich him.
Yeah, we can
You're
make
the
a
cream in this
little-
Oreo.
Little creamy uncle. There we go, baby.
No, Creamy Uncle.
Look at that. Dreams come true at the age of 25.
Creamy Uncle Spring Heel Jack. That's the new blend that we're coming out with. Creamy Uncle.
You're going to lose our sponsorship
Shut
before
up.
it even happens.
It is not an actual sponsorship of Spring Heel Jack. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't reflect our opinion. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about Paul Hellyer. Paul Hellyer is an engineer, a writer, and was the Minister of Defense for Canada in the 1960s. But more important, Paul Hellyer is also the highest-ranking politician to acknowledge the existence of aliens walking among us.
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
Okay, interesting because you know who also sponsored them? I mean, this is Canada's probably highest, but like
Kawhi Leonard?
I think I talked about this on the podcast. Didn't Jimmy Carter say like aliens exist? And I was like, what the fuck, Jimmy Carter? But then like he only said it once and like probably didn't. And I just remember I questioned his.
Was it Jimmy?
It was like after he
One of them.
retired.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that could have been false too.
Yeah,
Who
a little
knows?
senile.
Yeah. You know those presidents. There's like, oh fuck, I'm out of the spotlight. What do I do?
I'll tell you who it is.
Aliens!
Hey, the CIA spits in all your water, and you're like, what? And you're like, you guys looking at me now? Okay.
He's like, the water's making frogs gay. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So
Even though that was Alex Jones. So Paul had received citing reports while he was working for as a Minister of Defense, but was always too busy unifying armed forces, or whatever they do as a Minister of Defense. But after watching Peter Jennings' Seeing is Believing and reading Philip Corso's The Day After Roswell, he became open to the idea of extraterrestrial beings walking among us. Which, to be honest, when I read this, I was like, Paul kind of just sounds like a dude who smokes weed and watches Vice.
I was about to say, you can't watch one movie and read one book, and you're like, wait, I'm also the president? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say aliens exist. I'm like, no, dude, that you didn't get this out of your system in high school. Come on, man, what are you doing?
He's like, dude, Illuminati, look it up.
Exactly.
They didn't have Fortnite back then, so you had nothing else to do.
But after reading this book, Hellyer reached out to an old U.S. Air Force general to discuss the book because apparently that general was also a huge fan of it. And before he even got to the conversation, because someone connected them, was like, he wants to talk to you about the book. He's like, every single word in that book is true and more. He added that there had even been face-to-face contacts with aliens and U.S. officials at that point.
Whoa, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
pretty
terrifying.
nuts, though, to think that, like, would you say he was a general in the army?
General of the U.S. Air Force.
Holy shit, and that guy's just like, yo. I mean, like, hey, he honestly, I kind of believe him, but it's if he's not right, that's pretty crazy that we let that guy be a general in the Air Force. If that guy's just like, yo, aliens do exist, and then, like, his, like, superior above him is like, that's not true.
He's like, oh, fuck, Steve, stop doing this, dude. We've gone over
He's
this.
like, oh, my God, how much peyote did you give him?
But, so after that discussion, Hellyer basically decided, like, okay, this is enough proof. I need to come out and talk about to basically tell this to the public because we've been hiding this for way too long.
I like how no aliens visit Canada. There's like
They probably do, and Canada's probably really good friends with the aliens. They're just like, we can't let the U.S. know about this shit.
Or do
They'll
you think,
ruin it.
Oh, true. Or do you think that guy became president and they're like, don't tell this guy about the aliens? And then he read a book and he's like, I fucking know already. And they're like, no, you don't. You don't know shit.
Well, actually, there might be a reason why aliens actually might not be a huge fan of the U.S. We'll get into that in a second.
Oh,
So, according to Hellier, he basically said, in the same way that children need to know that the Tooth Fairy isn't real and Santa Claus isn't real, which is a little presumptuous, according to Paul, but...
He put that in a news article that kids read? He put that in the Washington Post? You know that's the biggest kids article.
I imagine like a 12-year-old, like that's the moment when he finds out, and he's like, "God, fuck this Paul guy."
He's reading the newspaper with a cigar in his mouth. He's like, what the fuck is this?
There's no Tooth Fairy. Mom, where's the money coming from? But he basically said the tax-paying citizens of Canada deserve to learn that aliens are walking among us. He said that the evidence of extraterrestrial beings is the greatest and most successful cover-up in the history of the world.
I kind of agree with that if it's true.
Yeah.
Because they've tricked us. Like, they've made, like, everybody who believes in aliens, we're, like, kind of laughing. We're
Yeah.
Oh, you guys believe in aliens? And they're like, wow, government kind of solidified. Like, they made it to the point where, like, if somebody does see an alien and they say something about it, everyone's like, and you're like, damn, we don't have to do anything. Everybody just laughs at them already. So,
Like, you could have the coolest, most laid-back friend named Derek, and if Derek also just happens to, like, every now and then just insert in the conversation, by the way, like, aliens are walking among us, you'd be like, maybe let's not invite Derek tonight.
100%. Like, somebody you trust, like your godfather of your child. He's like, yeah, I'll be your godfather as long as, like, I don't have to go to Xenorph soon. And there's like, fucking give me my kid back.
He was in Arizona for 4 months. He never came back the same.
Xenorph.
But basically he said he came through with a couple of points. So he said these aliens came down once we started testing nuclear bombs because they knew that it was causing damage to the cosmos, and they'd seen what weapons of war had done to other planets before.
Makes sense.
Fuck.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And he said that's why New Mexico is such a strong hub for alien life.
Oh my god, I didn't fucking think about that.
Because that's where they tested nuclear bombs initially.
Yeah.
Well, Russia too, probably. I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of alien like stuff in Russia, but like I know they test a lot of bombs over there. So like, and there's a lot of open space too. So I think I've heard about some like alien stories in Russia as well.
A lot of crocodile.
There's a lot of crocodile, but take enough of that, you look like a fucking alien.
Yeah, a lot of aliens in Florida.
So true that too. I mean, that's where they launch rockets though, so that might be something.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know that?
Oh no.
It
No.
like it leaves the I don't know
It's
I don't know
Tampa?
the physics behind it, but like it's one of the easiest places for a rocket to get out of the atmosphere. Is in
Well,
Florida.
I feel like it could also be part of the fact that it's so like surrounded by so much water, maybe that if issues do happen to land on the water, not
That's
on
another
land.
good point. I'm not sure.
You're not going to do it in the middle of fucking United States.
That's true.
But so he said there were even instances of test missiles going out of commission mid-air, despite like an innumerable amount of precautions used to prevent any sort of instances of that.
Like the testing was like flawless. And
Exactly.
Like you think they hit like a kill switch? The aliens hit a kill switch when like it was up like midair or something like that.
That's his theory. That's actually directly his.
Okay.
You didn't hear that from anyone. And he also said these aliens communicate via telepathy and can read the thoughts of any human being.
We know about an alien that does telepathy.
Yeah? I might
Yeah.
have missed that episode.
No, remember what's his name? It was 2 episodes ago.
Oh, the smiley guy.
Yeah, Smiley, grinning man.
Yeah.
Indrid Cold.
Yep.
So he talked to us, not us, but Woody through telepathy. So I mean, that is like their preferred form of communication, apparently. So
I mean, it seems effortless.
really does.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't have to talk, like you just be like sitting here, like I mean, it may be awkward, but
I know. I wonder if, like, you have to, like, kind of control it while you're sitting there. You're just like, oh, fuck, Tobin's doing that thing again. It's like, oh, fuck, sorry, dude, I didn't mean that.
do you think that there's like a specific channel, like where you just can be like, oh, that fucking chick's so hot right there, and you're like,
Channel
oh, shit,
69.
You heard that?
She's like, oh, look at the back of that guy's face. She's kind of hot.
She's like, I can hear you. Fucking drinks poison. That was the back of my head, I swear.
I got pretty insecure when I thought about, like, the possibility of an alien just, like, going to my mind. He's like, no, we're good.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, he's really dumb.
He's like, oh, fuck, he's playing Grand Theft Auto again.
You win the lottery. They're like, all right, Chris Barlow. Let's see what he's working on. Nope, we're not going. We're not going to Earth.
Oh, fuck this guy. So let them keep their bombs.
Like, dude, find a new hobby. And then he also said that we've taken several ideas of technology from these alien visitors, and some of those he named were microchips, fiber optics, and Kevlar, which I thought was interesting because I thought that was like a
Kevlar is what they make bulletproof vests out of, correct?
right, and I
It's a
think it's also
material.
used. Yeah, and it's also used in like a lot of like I know it's like used in technology, but I don't know specifics. But yeah, that was my thought. I was like, isn't that just a material that's already?
So let me get this straight. If I get a laser gun and I put on a Kevlar vest, will one of you shoot me and it won't go through? Because we're under the assumption that Kevlar is used to block ammunition as well, right?
Yes.
You don't think that aliens have bullets, right? You think they have laser guns.
Well, if you're fueling it with piss, it's a different
That's
story.
true.
It's extra strong.
That's true. We
Extra
got a
potent.
laser piss missile. Another episode that we talked about. So, but I mean, it is interesting to think that like Kevlar is specifically like if they invented Kevlar, what did they use it for? Is my question. You know what I mean?
Forks.
Not forks.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Some guy's like, here's Kevlar, and he like brought it in a fork fashion, like they even have forks. And it's someone's like, I can make this into a vest.
No, it's an eating utensil. No,
The
please.
aliens are like, don't fucking change it.
You can
Enough with the weapons. Fuck.
you can cook the fork with your lasagna. No, please. Please, no.
I think it'd be really funny if you just named
They
really.
know what lasagna is.
Real
we
big
are
in
a fan
space.
of the Italians.
It'd be really funny if you just named like really shitty inventions. He's like, they invented sporks, hoverboards, not like actual ones,
Toupee.
and TikTok.
Spatulas.
Aliens invented TikTok.
Not Vine though, unfortunately.
That's why America shut that shit down. But interesting, wow.
Yeah, and then just kind of wrap it up. He said there are at least 4 known species, and they've been visiting Earth for over thousands of years.
Okay, so we know. Do you know the 4 species right now? Are you about to name them off?
Said 3.
I think
I said 4.
Did you say 3? Oh, I thought you said
4
3.
known. I mean, because
There's the obvious number 1.
let's say it together. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Small
Grays.
grays. What did you say? Small.
I said the grays.
I said tiny grays.
I said small grays.
Okay, so yeah.
Well, we all
know.
got it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they're grays.
That's like the classic cartoon alien, like you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then they also got tall grays.
They also have tall grays, which look a lot more like humans.
Are they just like humans where there's just some Vern Troyers and then we got some Kareem Abdul-Jabbars out there where it's like they're just grays, right?
That might be it. I don't know.
And then we got lizard people for sure.
LPs.
Oh yeah, Queen Elizabeth, dude. Absolute
Dude,
lizard.
for
LPs,
sure.
big time.
Yeah.
So yeah, short grays, the tall grays that look like people. He didn't even give a name for this.
Xenomorphs?
I feel like he just made this up. He said ones that look like praying mantises.
You really just gave up on that one. Yeah, they eat the male's heads when they fuck. I don't know.
He's like, small grays, big grays, and the interviewer's like, yes, what else? He's like,
Yes.
He's like, circle ones, cube.
There was a
figures."
rectangle. The rectangles are sexy though.
Giddly boops, you gotta watch out for those.
There's ones that look like an upside down bushel of grapes. You're like, what the fuck?
Which way's the top?
It's how you feed an emperor, you idiot.
Oh, okay. One really skinny, nubby leg at the bottom. A lot of heads.
But what's the last one?
And then the last one is tall whites, which not Zach Collins, but
Heyo.
tall.
I don't know sports.
Basketball player for the Portland Trail Blazers.
I had a
There we
feeling.
go. All of our Portland fans, which are
Holler.
essentially just
My
actually called a Nordic species of aliens who are tall, pale, blonde-haired, who essentially can live for hundreds of years and are expected to be the most common to be walking amongst us, and 2 are rumored to be working with the U.S. government right now.
Oh, so there's like the handsome aliens.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's Barron Trump, right?
Yeah, essentially.
It is Baron Trump. He just hasn't fully formed.
Feel bad for that kid. Continue.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, since coming out about extraterrestrial life, Paul has claimed to have several encounters of his own with UFOs, which, again, I'm a little skeptical of. I'm wondering if he's like, people aren't taking me seriously enough. I need to have my own encounter.
Is he still the prime? Oh, is he prime minister or president?
He was the Minister of Defense
Oh, okay.
of Canada.
Oh, so yeah, they gave him weapons and shit.
Yeah. So he actually was the person who was in charge of. I don't have this in front of me. I believe it was like the Air Force, the Navy, and one other like really important branch of Canada, and putting them together, I guess.
The Mounties.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
The,
That was supposed to be a joke, but I think I'm right.
Dudley Doolittle? Is that like
we
Brendan
go.
Fraser?
That's what I was looking for. But yeah, so apparently he had a bunch of encounters early on in his career as the Minister of Defense. Like, it was like a lot of reports of UFOs, but he kind of paid them no mind because he was, as I said, doing this whole thing. But he said that those reports had higher clearance level requirements than those of, like, nuclear bombs.
What the fuck? It's crazy to think, like, I mean, it gives us some validity, but, like, we've gotten so used to people, like, governments shitting on, like, people talking about aliens that almost him talking about it and it not getting shut down or being hidden makes it seem like it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's kind of like counterintuitive to like believe him, but like, I don't know. It's pretty interesting that somebody of that power and stature decides to come out and say something like that because they're risking everything.
Yeah, that's a career ruiner.
So either they have to be completely like convicted to be like believe that or out of their mind. We're like it's like I'm gonna stand by this because it's the right thing to do, or like I'm crazy a little bit. But like I think there are aliens out there. I 100% do. So I don't laugh at these people or anything like that, but I do go, it's weird when you have such specifics about like breeds and how they speak and like, but maybe you're correct. I don't know.
Well, the breeds thing kind of makes sense because, again, there wouldn't just be a species that's just aliens. You know
True.
what I mean?
Yeah. It would be like other planets are like, you know, we got humans, humans. Is that how you pronounce it? Humans? And they have a pod. They're like, we have
Hummins.
a podcast. We have a cast pod here. But Jesus Christ, I mean, we haven't had enough aliens on this, and people are complaining. So I'm glad you.
I'm
listened.
gonna say again what I always say when we talk about aliens is that I think there are aliens out there, but I have a feeling that they're just us but shittier, and we're gonna be the ones that find them, and they're gonna be like in the 30s, and we're like, oh well, this isn't cool.
I kind of agree with that. I think we're further along than we like to admit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be real disappointing when we find them.
We're gonna get there, and they're gonna be like, "We're like, what's up?" And they're like, "They banned alcohol." They're like, "Oh, this is prohibition. This will pass. This will pass, guys."
Like, your women vote? I'm like, oh boy, okay,
Right.
we'll be back later.
Yeah.
They're like, no, all of our women are on the back of our heads, and you're like, "Oh, fuck." Wait, this is where Edward is from? So I don't know.
I also want to say I never actually got back to the point. He said that the U.S. also has a defense system that apparently prevents certain aliens from coming in, or not certain aliens, but like they're working on a defense system to prevent aliens from coming in, and he says that's a problem because we can learn from them.
I'm gonna build that space wall 10 feet higher. No aliens are coming in here. Like, what the fuck? Like, how? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
We're getting a little pretentious. Like, aliens are coming down. We're like, oh, you guys, we don't know if you're like, should you be here? And you're like, dude, they like have Kevlar forks. Let them in.
You don't even have iPhones yet?
No, we don't let dumb aliens in here.
Do you even know how to floss?
We eat food through our anus,
Like, okay, wait, we'll
which
listen.
we have 12 of. And you're like, Trump's like, okay, let them in.
Like, okay, we might have use.
You're like, wait, I'm an anus.
I can relate.
These
so
are my
much.
people. So, okay, well, that's very interesting. I mean, huge shout out Canada. Keep it up with the alien shit because
Canada.
we're not letting them in here. So I gotta come up there and take
they're
a little vacay, check out some ales.
They're about to be a world champion in basketball. All right.
Ooh, knocking on wood.
Shit. Fuck you. I'm a Warriors fan only by location.
Big time.
From
Knicks.
there.
All right. So I'm going to tell you guys about a little story.
Oh, Spider Body Boy.
This is a
Is this Spider-Man?
This is a
I think
little.
that-
What if I just told you, like, so there's this kid in New York who got bit by the spider, right?
There's a kidney orca.
A kid in New York who got bit by a spider. I just like tried to do like a real story about like Spider-Man.
You guys listen.
This
to
really
this.
happened. I
Also
swear.
has to get pictures.
You guys, the story gets good. He gets a girlfriend.
He says it's pizza time at one point. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about this story I found from 2004, and this article I found was titled "Hobbit-like human ancestors found in Asia."
Oh, I love the emphasis on little. I get
Yeah,
it
now
now.
you get it.
I thought it was
So-
a Vern Troyer story.
So let's talk
RIP.
about these little guys.
Please
So
do.
like I said, this story came out in 2004, and scientists found skeletons of a human species that grew no larger than a modern 3-year-old.
Okay, how tall is a modern 3-year-old?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
I got all the stats,
Because
baby.
before you get into this, we talked about heights, and we said we saw Peter Dinklage next to Warwick Davis.
Oh, and Peter Dinklage is a big LP.
Yeah. Peter, not a lizard person,
Little person.
Like 4'5".
and something like that. And then like Warwick Davis is like half his height, and then Vern Troyer is half of Warwick Davis's height.
Well, I mean,
Not literally, because then he's 1 foot.
You're right, but he's very. He's my shoe.
I mean, okay, so
Warwick Davis is not 2 feet tall. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. But
so Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow,
Yes.
he's not a very tall dude.
he's like 5'8".
Have you ever
which
seen a
is
picture of him next to
the Hound?
No, a picture of him next to
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage.
Yeah.
Like
I have not.
Dinklage is like maybe to his shoulder,
No, yeah, exactly.
like a little bit below, like
He's not that short, honestly.
no. So these guys were about the size of a modern 3-year-old, and if that doesn't sound wild enough, this species of human shared a small remote island with pygmy elephants
Whoa, I want one.
and giant lizards.
Oh, I don't want one.
And I cannot confirm or deny whether or not these large lizards had security badges.
Those are Komodo dragons.
They were. So just so people don't get confused, this was not some Lord of the Flies shit with a bunch of 3-year-olds. These remains were
They're older
confirmed.
than 3.
Yeah. This it confirmed that these it belonged to tiny humans who had skulls about the size of grapefruit. And these remains were found in a cave on Flores, which is an island east of Bali and midway between Asia and Australia. These remains were found by Australian and Indonesian researchers. So, see what happens when you guys work together, huh?
I feel like a 3-year-old head's bigger than a grapefruit.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys are
That's
as
what I thought the
tall.
point was.
They're as tall, not as
smaller
proportionate.
heads.
So
Yeah.
you're saying that these guys are probably like they're more proportional. You know what I mean? Where like
These guys are not proportional at all.
Disproportionate. A
You
grapefruit is pretty small.
Eh,
Well, I'm
Isn't
just
that
saying,
like a baby's head?
it's probably like a softball.
I think that's pretty small for a 3.
I feel like I don't know how big grapefruits are. I don't eat them. They're too fucking bitter.
I need a 3-year-old in
They
here.
always spray in the eye.
bring the 3-year-old in.
Oh, fuck, he's dead!
Oh, fuck! I mixed them up with the grapefruit. Don't drink that. Don't drink that. Don't drink that.
God damn it.
We're gonna lose our sponsor.
So the scientists gave these name. They gave these guys the name Homo flores. You're really gonna laugh at Homo?
Don't laugh at that, dude. God damn it.
Read a science
Edit
book.
that shit out.
So it was Homo floresiensis, after the island they're found on Flores.
That makes sense.
But the bodies were nicknamed hobbits by the scientists during their unearthing and searching for the remains.
So I'm guessing they found this after Lord of the Rings came out,
Yeah,
2004.
or The Hobbit, or I should say more specifically.
that's an old book, man.
It is an old
My
book.
dad read that as a kid.
And your dad's like 110.
He was born in 1950, though.
Was he?
Yeah. It's always easy to remember his birthday because,
It's right on the 50.
yeah.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah. So the original skeleton they found was a female, and she stood just a meter tall, 3.3 feet to be exact.
3.3 feet. Okay.
Wow.
And
do we know how tall
That's
Vern Troyer is?
Was.
Was?
Throw around that. I'll look it up.
You
Keep
look it
going.
up. I'm going to continue. And she weighed about 55 pounds.
Oh, that's
Wow.
light.
They also believe that she was around 30 years old the time of her death, which was 18,000 years ago.
Oh, 30. Wow, they lived. I mean, I guess that's not
That's
that
I feel like
old.
that's pretty old.
Well-
that long ago.
I guess so.
We'll get into how she died.
Well, by the way, Vern Troyer is 2'8". And how was this? How
3.3.
And Warwick Davis is 3'6".
So she was kind of close to.
in between Vern Troyer and Warwick Davis?
Yeah.
Closer to
But Warwick Davis is
Warwick.
3.5.
Closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the remains of our first lady hobbit was also accompanied by stone tools, the bones of dwarf elephants, also pygmy elephants.
Yeah.
It just kind of went between the two. Giant rodents and Komodo dragons.
You know what's weird? I'm still picturing this as like a fictional thing.
No, this is real. This
Yeah.
is an island that had miniature elephants.
This is so weird to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just told a story about you got aliens and like a guy with a face on the back of his head, and now like this just seems so wacky that like,
Yeah.
but it's true. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So there are also Komodo dragons, which can grow up to be 10 feet, which
Oh my
is
God.
fucking terrifying to me at my size. Could you imagine literally being half of my size? 3 feet and seeing a 10-foot Komodo dragon?
Jesus.
Especially if they have a security clearance card? Are you shitting me?
They get in any foster freeze they want to.
They can go anywhere. Try and stop them. They are cleared for.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
So yeah, this world of the Hobbit people must have been wild as fuck because their elephants are small, their rodents are giant, and everything's fucked up.
It's 3 times the size of them, right? They're 3 feet.
A little more than 3 times.
Holy
But yeah,
shit.
can you imagine that shit?
Scary.
It's like real dragons. So one more thing about this story that's insane is that the scientists believe the hobbits of Flores could have been around as recent as 13,000 years ago, which according
so
to
recent.
so according to scientists, that would mean that they were alive the same time as modern humans.
Oh, really?
Whoa. Huh.
Yeah.
Were they around as modern boats, though? Be like, did we have boats yet?
Probably.
Well,
Yeah.
like how civilized were we?
I mean, shit, you knock a log into the ocean, you've got a boat, baby.
I guess my question is, like, do you think they had contact with modern humans?
I don't think so.
No, so like nobody went to that island.
No, I don't think so.
Or it was like too far away.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, how the fuck did somebody get there? Like, how were they formed? Like,
Yeah, who knows?
maybe like Pangea
Well, okay.
split, Pangea kind of thing. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so I think I did read a part that was a little scientifically too advanced for my reading, but it kind of sounded like they thought that people had gone to the island and got stuck there, and they just adapted and evolved into these smaller people.
Oh wow,
Interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Just malnourishment, or
Who knows?
No clue.
it's crazy. Yeah.
So Peter Brown, a paleoanthropologist at the University of New England in South Wales of Australia, holy shit, look at that, said to find that as recently as perhaps 13,000 years ago, there was another upright bipedal through all
Pedal,
the
I think.
pedal, whatever, although small-brained creature walking on the planet at the same time as modern humans is as exciting as it is unexpected. So Peter Brown just slam dunked on these little guys. Like, he had no remorse. Kind of shitty just to dunk
like-
on them after, they're all dead and shit.
He's like, I think it's crazy that we have a bunch of little idiots around, huh? Pretty nuts, huh, guys?
They must have been drooling all over themselves.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't get eaten by all those dragons over there, the tile fence.
But
Isn't it crazy how like elephants are just like they probably got like punked on by the dragons now they're like, what's up, motherfuckers? Remember us?
Yeah.
Because we remember everything. We remember where that water hole was 15 years ago.
But, he brings up a good point. Could you imagine a civilization of 3-year-olds who are smart enough to make tools and weapons and organize hunting and survival tactics?
Oh, Jesus.
I get the feeling these guys were just like less hairy, ugly Ewoks.
Oh yeah, Forest planet of Endor.
Yeah. So scientists believe these little gremlins lived from about 95,000 years ago and lived until 13,000 years ago. So
Holy
that's a good
shit, they
chunk
got a
of
good
time.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this theory is based on the charred bones and stone tools, excuse me, allergies, and the things they found on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And they had blades, point-like spears, and other cutting and chopping tools that were used for big hunting game.
So you said charred bones, correct?
Yeah.
So they were able to use fire as well.
I'll get into that.
Okay.
But yeah, so they had the tools to do, big game hunting, which, could have been a fucking Labrador retriever for these little dudes, but...
Honestly, if you catch a lizard, like, you guys are feasting for, like, kings, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, see, that's what you don't think about, is that you think about the negative of, like, constantly getting eaten by a lizard, but, like, if you catch one of those, you're set for 2 weeks at least, right?
It takes at least 6 of them to take one of those down.
Probably.
And I still
would
don't know if being full really outweighs the concept of being eaten by a lizard, but
it's all about a silver lining.
that's true. That's
What
true.
you don't know is they are very well known for their seasoning.
Creole.
A little lemon pepper on there.
Oh, yeah. But, so Richard Roberts, a geochronologist at the University of Wollongong in Australia, and one of the co-authors of the research paper about these guys, painted a pretty good picture of what these things looked like. He said, they had slightly longer arms than us, which...
What
Okay.
the fuck?
I think what he means by that is in comparison to, like, our bodies, like, I don't think they had a wingspan of 8 feet.
I
like,
see. Okay, yeah.
I'd be like, those are orangutans.
yeah. I mean, for the
Well,
most
maybe,
part...
actually, in terms of
Honestly, that's kind of interesting to think about.
I think what he's saying is like,
Yeah,
typically
relatively.
for us humans, our wingspan is about the same as our actual height.
Right.
And I think for them, if they're 3 feet tall, they might have like a 5-foot wingspan.
So that
Which is
means
still
that
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
that means that their like hands are more than likely dragging on the ground.
Great reach. They could probably
Probably
dunk.
past their knees, yeah.
They could
mean-
probably dunk.
They could clip their toenails without bending over.
Yeah.
Not
That's
bad.
impressive.
Yes. So they also had hard, thicker eyebrow ridges than us, and a sharply sloping forehead and no chin.
Do you know how much air you get off with a tech deck off that forehead?
Sorry, but did you hear that no chin part?
Wait, I'm trying to think.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about that vert ramp I got on their forehead.
So
But now you
another.
got the chin, too.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
God's like, hey, fuck the chin, put it on their forehead.
when they sweat, it goes right down the body, cools them off faster. So in other words, these dudes look like that shitty Tetris piece that always fucks you over. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The squiggle.
The upside down L, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Although these hobbits had a small brain, physically, they were believed to be fairly smart for their size. And Roberts also added that given that Homo floresiensis is the smallest human species ever discovered, they outpunch every known human intellectually, pound for pound. Which, boy, that sounds like a vital pound for pound if I've ever heard one.
So it's like a snail being able to do like arithmetic.
Yeah.
So like we don't expect anything out of snails, and you're like, holy shit! Like that's like us being able to like figure out like the speed of light. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I get that.
Yeah. So when it's all said and done, it is believed that our sweet, ugly little hoblet gremlins were completely wiped out alongside with the pygmy elephants by a volcano eruption.
Oh no! It's always a volcano eruption.
Yeah, and may they rest in peace. So that's why they found charred bones and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. And that's what killed our original tiny human who you were talking about.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I mean, I'm pretty interested in. So, there's obviously a volcano on this island. Do you think this was the first? I mean, because they lived for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you think this would just happen to be the worst eruption, or do you think this was the first eruption? And that's obviously we don't know. So,
As far as I'm aware, I think it was a pretty small island, so I think like one eruption's going to do you.
fuck,
Wow.
An eruption will do you.
that's pretty crazy to think. I mean,
I want one of these pygmy elephants. Fuck it. I want one.
I know. I was wondering how big this pygmy elephant is.
I tried to Google it. I couldn't find a good picture, but I think they were not that big.
Like a dog, or like a horse,
They were probably closer to like a pony.
a pony.
That's
there we
crazy.
Go. Something
'Cause
in the middle.
I was picturing, that's when you said a horse. I thought I'm like, that's too big for an elephant. And when you said pygmy, I picture like it's all proportional, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like pygmy, I just expected like it to
Initially,
be
I
like,
was like at my waist.
exactly. So that's what I was kind of thinking. But
Yeah,
damn,
it could be at our waist. I tried Googling it. I couldn't really find a good answer.
isn't it crazy that that island just had like tiny people, tiny elephants, and giant lizards
And giant rodents.
And there's like, oh,
Jesus.
I fucked up this island. God's like, I fucked up this island. What'd I do? I didn't mean to put these guys on the island together.
Initiate Order 66.
Yeah,
Volcano eruption.
Exactly. Like, wipe this out. I want to start again. I want to start again on a different island.
I mean, if you're ever having a bad day, I guess just think at least I don't have to run from lizards that are 3 times my size.
Honestly, I don't know what I would do if I had to live like amongst bears and mountain lions.
Yo,
Komodo
they're-
dragons
I'd
are fast
die.
as fuck too. Have you ever seen one run?
They're very
Yeah.
And they swim fast as fuck too.
Yeah.
They're like
Think about that.
crocodiles.
If you just had 18-foot lizards just walking on fucking La Brea,
I hate the fact that
That would
bear.
make the traffic worse.
I don't under.
Lord knows we don't need that.
I don't understand the physics behind a bear being able to climb faster than it can run. I still don't get it.
You ever seen a video of it?
They can also run like 40 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Like
It's
a male grizzly bear, like full grown, can run faster than like Usain Bolt.
I just don't
Yeah.
understand it. Like, it's so fucking crazy to me. So, I mean, I think the only thing I would do if I found a bear, if, like, the big thing didn't work, I go, and you try to get all big. I just, like, keep running around a giant tree. Like,
Zigzag, serpentine.
is that what works?
Fuck, nothing works, dude.
You
I think
guys
you're
d-
fucked no matter
Yeah,
what.
if you piss off a grizzly, you're just done.
Yeah.
The
I
best
guess
thing
play
is
dead.
like, honestly, that's the best thing you can do, and I think it's more that it
saw
gives
the
you a better
Revenant.
strike for your spine. So when they do kill you, it's quicker.
Jesus Christ.
Morbid. Jesus Christ. Yeah. What the fuck? Would you rather be killed by a giant lizard or a giant bear?
Bear.
Lizard.
Wow. We're
Oh.
split. I'm going to choose bear.
From what I've heard about bears, I've never actually seen the deaths. I've heard
At
it's
least-
pretty brutal.
But I think bears are
think it-
cuter.
I think it'd be quicker.
Oh, that might be.
Yeah, they're
that's probably
stronger.
true.
Lizards seem like they just go after
They
like
just-
your soft parts, and
I
then
feel like they just bite you till you bled out.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like a
probably
bear
right.
could at
they
least rip your head off.
They be eating your stomach out, and then you'd be like, "Don't! I need that." And then yeah.
We'll have
And
to Google
lizard,
that.
I mean, let's be honest. Lizards are just cocky.
Have you ever seen those lizards that run on their back feet, motherfuckers?
If I'm gonna get killed by a lizard, it better run on its back feet like that, so I can at least die
Yo,
laughing.
can you imagine a Komodo dragon on its back feet?
I want to die tired and humiliated. Oh, okay. You got any more information on these
That's
hobbits?
it.
Okay, so they don't have fire. They're just a cold little species.
Well, I'm sure they
Probably
I'm sure
fire,
they
right?
found fire, but
I guess.
Fire's been around for almost 2 million years.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're on an island, secluded.
True.
So,
Jesus
like,
had fire.
That is true.
You know what's weird to think about? If like lightning hit the island one day and there was fire, they just had to keep using that same fire. Like somebody had to like be awake and just like keep or like if you're deserted on an island, you got to keep the fire going.
But if
you know?
you've never seen fire before, you're not like, let's keep this. You're like, holy fuck, this is hot.
It
Dude, put
hurts
this
me
out.
really bad.
We've lost 4 people today from this weird thing.
Someone else go in there.
We need to keep this. Anyway, wow. Okay, well, I think that concludes our episode for today. We learned a little bit about faces on the back of heads. We learned a little bit about Canadian aliens, and we learned
Canadians.
Canaliens. There we go, Canaliens. I think we just.
I
found
knew it was in there somewhere.
I think we just found the title for this episode. Canaliens.
Canaliens.
That's good.
Riding pygmy elephants.
So, and we learned about little hobbits and big lizards and tiny elephants and big volcanoes. So, thank you, Chris, for coming on.
Well, before we end this, Chris, do you want to plug anything like your own podcast?
oh, that's good.
I
Good
mean,
point.
while I'm here, yeah, I guess so. Everyone check out the Chris and Craig Show on our own feed. No big deal, the Chris and Craig Show. We try to come out with an episode every Wednesday, but it kind of varies. So stay tuned. Maybe follow me at CP Barlow or Craig at Craig Horlbeck, and we'll keep you guys
And
updated.
what do you guys talk about on that show?
Kind of just whatever comes to mind. Just kind of keep it fun. No big deal.
Yeah, they talk about news, sports, top 5 best candy bars on
You
the
guys
market.
talk about titties.
A lot of titty talk. In fact, we even have the titty talk hour.
Oh, we are definitely losing the sponsor. Fuck. You know
shout-
what goes great with coffee? Milk, titties. Okay, here we go.
I also want to give one last shout out to Spring Hill Jack for their delicious coffee that got me through today. So thank you.
Heyo.
Spring Hill
Oh
Jack.
wow, thank you, Chris.
L'chaim.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We got merch if you guys want to check that out. We got shirts and we got mugs if you guys are interested. If you guys want to send us a story, you can go to campstrange.com, click the contact tab, and send us your strange, weird, wacky, unusual story. It doesn't have to be,
send us your strange.
yeah, it doesn't even have to be
I want to look
that
at
fucking strange,
I want to look at your strange.
it doesn't have to be strange. It could just be kind of like a weird story that happened to you or a very interesting story.
Oh,
And
that's strange.
or send it to us at campstrangepodcast@gmail.com, and we will or just any question you guys have or comments, and we will most likely respond. Like I said, we have nothing going on.
You think anybody's ever clicked on our podcast and been like, this is the type of strange I was looking for?
Yeah, for sure.
The lock.
This is stupid strange.
Bet my fucking life on it.
So, and we also got Instagram. We're going to post some pictures of some pygmies, of some aliens, of some faces on the back of heads. So go check that out. We got Facebook and Twitter too, and we never use them. So, David's got some great Photoshops going up on Instagram right now.
I already know what I'm going to make for this one.
Okay, so follow us, you guys, if you want to see David's artwork. He's a great Photoshopper.
I do it all on my phone. I'm an amateur.
And we're at Camp Strange Podcast on Instagram. I think at Camp Strange Podcast.
Camp Strange Podcast 001246.
It's not that. It's just
The
at
original
Camp
was
Strange
taken.
Podcast. So follow us there. What else we got though?
Chris, you want to join in on us with this one?
What?
You want to kick us off with
I think
what we
have
got? What do we got here?
what do we got?
Oh, fuck. That's right. We have...
I think we have like a cheeseburger gun.
Oh, that's right. Let's get that cheeseburger gun going.
You know that's a thing in the new Borderlands game, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But what else we got, David?
We got lemons full of hair.
That's the worst kind of lemon.
You can still get the zest, though.
What else we got, Chris?
Oh, we got fucking chocolate on a dog for sure.
Should a chocolate lab?
I had something in mind and that came out and I fucking forgot it. David, go again.
We got something that's in between a t-shirt and a tank top. I don't know what it is, but you're going to love it.
We got rocks and tea.
We got tiny baby violin.
We got a top hat that goes beep.
We have a charger for your back. Guess what? Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
We got shoes full of wet sponges.
We got a bag full of hot rocks.
We have hot dog casserole. What else we got?
We got
stuff for
We
you.
got wet undies, but not in the way you're thinking.
We have Chernobyl paste.
Beans.
I think we're done. Okay.
Yeah, we hit an hour. We're good.
So, okay, there we go. Thank you guys for listening. We love it when you do. And keep up the good work with whatever you're doing.
Stay strange, everyone.
Oh, you motherfucker.
What? You guys not say that?
And, David, you have anything to say before we check out?
Rinse your fruit before you eat it.
Wow, that's great. Anyway, and also, don't forget to stay strange.